Hi there. Today we're going to be listening to something extremely fun. We're going to be listening to the Schoolyard Heroes. You may have never heard of them before, but they've heard of you. So remember, you scream, I scream, they scream, whether you like it or not. For me. Tally-ho.
Hello, everybody. I'm Batman, and we're here for our second video in this special Halloween series where we're going to be listening to some special Halloween songs with everybody. We're going to be having some awesome dance parties. We're going to be having some awesome, very serious conversations about music and mixes and audio things. So welcome to the channel. I'm Batman, as I already said.
What is that
Wait,
shirt?
not this way. What? What's wrong?
What is that?
I don't know what you mean.
Your shirt. What is on your shirt?
Some cactuses?
Did you shave your
right.
chest for this, Batman?
No. But the cancer may have taken some of that. Anyway, I'm Batman and I'm currently on vacation in Hawaii. As you can clearly see, even Batman deserves a vacation from the streets of Gotham and all of the crime that happens and the rampant debauchery that happens on the streets of Gotham.
So who's watching the city?
Poison Ivy
Oh.
and Robin
Oh, yeah.
and Batgirl
Oh yeah.
and Clayface and the Joker. The Heath Ledger Joker, because he's the best Joker. I'm sorry, Folio Adieu, or whatever that pathetic movie is. Who
heard it was
cares
really
about that
bad.
stupid
Just
Lady,
a real piece of garbage.
Lady Gaga?
I don't know why everybody was so surprised.
Can't even beat Terrifier 3 in the theaters. Pathetic.
As soon as I heard it was a musical, I was like, "Oh, this is a troll." Never mind. You know.
I listened to like 2/3 of that record. I didn't.
Pretty good?
know. No.
No.
And then I went and listened to the thing with her and Tony Bennett, and I thought that was better.
Nice. I bet it was.
In the sha-la-la-la-la-la-lows. In the sha-la-la-la-la-la-lows.
What?
What is that?
Can we?
I couldn't think of any other Lady Gaga song. Rah, 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 rah. Poker face.
Oh my God.
Something
We
like
got
that.
like 5 songs to do, including the ones that we're supposed to talk about.
Okay. So anyway, Patrick allowed me to
Batman
be
is
back
tone
here.
deaf, if you can't tell.
Yeah, Batman's got a lot of new problems that he didn't used to have.
Batman ends all of his sentences on the same note.
When you're on vacation, you don't need to worry about tone. You just need to worry about sonic analysis and some other baloney. I don't know. Anyway, we're here today. I'm gonna pass out. Hold on one second.
Anyway, everybody, we're here to do the second video in our series of 4 videos, all leading up to our special Halloween video where we're going to talk about the #1 best, greatest Halloween album of all time that you can put on for your parties, you can put on for your Halloween movie fests or whatever, have it between while obviously not while the movie's playing, but whatever. We're leading up to that. It's going to be great. It's going to be really fun. So something that I was reminded that we forgot in the first of these videos, each video we were supposed to recommend a special Halloween thing to everybody. So let's just go ahead and start this video out with our recommendations from the first part, and we'll just include it here in the second part. So who wants to start? Cody, you go first.
All right.
If I'm telling you, if the very end of this evening is you talking about how great Monster Mash is, I'm.
Dude, Monster Mash rips though.
It was a
What is-
graveyard
I
bash.
told you, Chris. Why do you keep talking trash about Monster Mash? It doesn't make
You're
any
alone
sense.
in that opinion, Chris.
I
Parker.
don't.
Makes sense.
I'm not necessarily here to say that. Just on a general level, Monster Mash is the worst thing ever. I just like, if we're building up, all this build up is just so that you can talk about Monster Mash, it's gonna be. There's gonna be.
Yeah, that's going to be the greatest Halloween album at the end. The Crypt Kicker 5.
You'll have to wait and find out. Go ahead, Cody. Tell us what you recommend for the spooky time of year.
I got a movie. I have the 1977 Japanese horror comedy classic House.
That movie is nuts. I watched it last year for the first time.
It's so good.
Absolutely fantastic. So
Yes.
strange. Fever Dream City.
I've heard of that, but I've never seen it. That's actually really cool.
You'd love
I
it.
love that.
You would love it.
I have a whole. Trust me, when I was trying to find stuff for these videos, I was like, well, I could just do Japanese horror movies for everyone. I have more than enough Japanese horror movies for stuff, but I was like, I won't do that. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'll go next then. Since you have that one, let me see. I have a bunch of different things that I have selected, and I was just going to kind of go off of what everyone else was saying. So I'll pick. Should we do a Japanese? Okay, well.
Does everyone have something Japanese?
I didn't realize that this was just pick anything. So the new thing I'm going to pick is Japanese. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, what were you gonna do? You can tell us. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I thought we were just picking like Halloween songs.
No, I
So I have
specifically told everybody anything,
You specifically
including.
told us songs.
Well, songs are things.
I did not. I did not say that. I talked to any one of you individually. You can pick Halloween music and stuff. Sure.
Yeah.
100%. No, nothing wrong with that.
I have an album over here, so.
Yeah, I've got all mine on the wall behind
Were we
me.
supposed to pick more than one thing?
4 things, one for each video.
Oh. Well, that's fine. Okay. Well, that should be easy enough. Yes.
You don't have to have the prop. Just think of something.
Yeah, you don't have to have the thing. So
He'll put a picture on the screen.
I'll go. Yeah, I can do that. I'll go next then, and then you guys can think about it. So since Cody recommended that, I'll talk about a fun. Yeah, should I do a Japanese one or not? I'm just debating. I'm going to go with what my initial thing was, and I'm not going to go with the Japanese one. I might bring a Japanese one out later. But so I'm going to talk about one of my favorite horror movies of all time. This is The Witch, also pronounced The Witch.
I watched that last year, and it was really good.
Yeah, I talk about tone, talk about atmosphere, fantastic all the way through. Black Phillip is absolutely terrifying. The child acting in this is phenomenal. The special features on the DVD Blu-ray include like a segment on like how they recorded the child's sections, especially with there's a part where a kid is kind of possessed type of thing, and he's like laying down, and there's this crazy scene that goes on for quite a while, and they talked about how they actually did that and what the kid, so that's really cool. I love the cinematography in this, and this director has gone on to direct some other fantastic movies, including The Northman, and his newest movie is going to be coming out in 2025, early 2025, I believe, it's a remake of Nosferatu.
Oh, nice. That's going to be great.
Very much looking for. Yeah, the trailers make it look phenomenal. So, and the director is it's not S. Craig. I always get S. Craig Zoller and
I think it's Brett.
This
Eggers?
guy. It might be Eggers, Robert Eggers. Robert Eggers,
yeah.
right? So he did this, The Northman, and The Lighthouse as well, which is
The Lighthouse
also phenomenal.
is fantastic.
Not really
The
a horror
Northman's
movie,
kind of a
but
snooze,
very
but-
psychological. Yeah, Northman. It was a little disappointing, I honestly thought, but it was his first like big studio, big budget movie. But he went away from that with no
The Lighthouse one, that's the one with the Green Goblin from Superman or Spider-Man in it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
One of my buddies is super into that. I don't watch movies, but you know.
You would not, if you're not a movie fan, you would not. Like
That's
The
not a
Lighthouse.
place to start.
Yeah, The Lighthouse is very far down the line.
It's
very
weird.
art house.
It's fantastically weird. I
It
love
is phenomenal. There's only 2 actors in the whole movie, and one of them is one of the greatest vampire actors of all time, Edward Cullen from one of the greatest series of all time, Twilight.
I don't even know if you're serious.
There you go.
Because you love all kinds of crap.
The world may never know.
Oh, I should have got a little umbrella for my drink. That would have been really funny. Okay, so have you guys had time to think? Chris Schoenberg, Chris Parker, one of you guys want to recommend some Halloween thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Chris Parker.
Chris
first.
Parker, go.
Okay. Oh, I've just been playing the Silent Hill 2 remake, and let me tell you about how excellent it is. It is so good. The audio team on that, it was developed by Bloober Team, but they contracted out to Sweet Justice Sound, which is one of the best game audio houses in the business, and it absolutely shows. They have there's like you're just walking around and the atmospherics are just so perfect. There's all kinds of just the most subtle, tiny little sounds that just sort of happen around you for random reasons. That it's such a like really, really well recorded, quiet. Like the silence is so silent, and these little tiny things happen, and it's probably, I would say it's probably the best sounding game that I've maybe ever played.
Ooh, that's interesting, because I know you played Senua, or Hellblade.
Yes, and I don't know if I would compare it to Hellblade just because Hellblade is so unique in the way that it's done, but just like from a traditional perspective, Silent Hill's just, it is top shelf. It is so good.
Sure. Now let me ask this, because in the first Silent Hill, which when I get my next gen console, my current gen console eventually, and I can actually play games that are being released now, I do want to play Silent Hill Remake 1 and Silent Hill 2 Remake. And I did
They didn't remake the first one.
I thought they did. I thought they did remake the first one.
They did an HD remaster, I believe, of 1 and 2 several years back, but I heard it's actually kind of crap.
Why would they skip
But
the
no,
first
like-
one and
like-
go to second? I just assumed that they did the second one too.
I think because the second one, like,
I know 2's like the most beloved game in the series.
yeah,
but
it's the most popular, it's the most beloved, it's the best one, and I think it also exists enough outside of the series as a whole. Like 3 is really a sequel to 1, stuff like that, but 2's kind of standalone, so it works better for remake instead of having to like commit to a whole thing.
Well, I know back in the day I played 1 on PS1, and I almost beat it. I don't know if I ever went back and did or not. And then I know I played a little bit of 2. But in 2, did they keep my favorite part of 1 was the absolutely terrifying mechanic of when you have the radio with you, right? And you hear the static and
Yep.
evil's around. Do they keep that mechanic in the second one?
Yes, indeed. And it comes out of the controller speaker too now.
Oh, that's cool. Yes.
Yeah, it's really good. Can't recommend it enough.
Cody, are you a horror game? We've never really talked
No.
about horror games before.
I get scared by jump scares too easily to play horror games.
Yeah.
So, although one of my recommendations when we get to it is a video game. So,
Oh shoot, I might have to get. Well, I know you won't have. I have. Oh, never mind. Okay. All right, go ahead, Chris Schoenberg. On to you.
If I was gonna have to make a horror video game recommendation, I would recommend Minecraft. Because when you when you go down into the caves, those sounds play, and they're pretty scary.
It can get you.
It gets you.
I mean, the point of
you're
the
down
game
there
is
in the dark?
that you have to build a house for yourself, or you'll die at night because the zombies and stuff come attack you at
Yeah,
night,
so I
right?
guess
Like, mean,
Minecraft is a horror game.
It is a horror game, so yeah.
It's survival, but yeah.
But you don't have to.
surviving's
Do you have
scary
anything
enough.
other than a video game to recommend?
Well, what I was gonna recommend for people is that I would recommend the brown Tootsie Pops. You eat all the brown Tootsie Pops, and you can send those unsafe, disgusting orange and red and blue ones to my home address, which Patrick will put down in the description below. So, the brown Tootsie Pops, I think, is what my recommendation would be.
all right.
Is that to say you hate the brown ones?
The brown ones are so gross.
What are the brown ones supposed to taste?
Aren't they all the same color?
chocolate.
Aren't they all
Oh,
the
it
same
is
flavor?
chocolate.
Not Tootsie Rolls, Tootsie Pops.
Oh, Tootsie Pop. Okay,
Right.
okay,
the
okay. Right.
suckers,
The
lollipops.
suck-
It is chocolate.
Do you
but it's
call
like,
them
take.
lollipops or suckers? I know what you guys all call them, but you people that are not from the Midwest.
Oh, is
what
that a
do you call 'em?
regionalism?
Who the would say lollipop?
Dude, I
like
think
without
people-
irony.
Dude, the British.
In the
do.
UK,
I'm
they
sure
say
there's-
lolly. In the UK,
Yeah,
they just say
see.
lolly. Yeah, and in
Which is
Australia as well.
Worse.
Yeah.
That is worse and weirder.
I'm sucking on me lolly.
Oh no.
And you say you're supposed to keep this G-rated, and you go.
Just talking about a lollipop. I'm
Yeah,
sucking on my lolly.
These aren't keywords that you want in the video.
Whatever. Okay.
No one's watching this anyway.
All right. Okay. So everybody watching, you can probably tell we're going to have another recommendation after this when we're done listening. Are we recording even? Yeah, we are. Okay. Thank goodness. That's great. So for the video this time, for the song we're going to be listening to, this is a band I'm very excited to listen to, particularly with the two Chris's, because I don't think we've ever listened to something with production like this and discussed the production of it. So I feel like we could talk for a long time about the production of this, but I'm really curious to see what you guys say. I'm not going to say anything about it up front because I don't want to like color your opinions of anything beforehand. Cody, I think you're
For
probably...
the first time, somebody. That should be what the
joke.
video title is. Patrick doesn't ruin the song for the Chris's before he plays it.
So, Cody, I think you're probably going to just hate this the entire time, but you also very much surprise me with things.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a little talking heads in this somewhere. I just don't know.
What in the world could this be?
But
You're
we'll
a
see.
talking heads guy, Cody.
Cody loves talking heads. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Why
he
wouldn't
loves it's fun to have all of you guys here together. So so the band we're doing, do you guys want to just listen to it without even knowing what it is?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is video 2, first song, and then second song. We're gonna for
The
sure listen to.
viewers know because you're going to put it in the title.
Oh, I know that, but I'm just saying
If
you
you were
guys.
smart, you'd write Metallica in the title. But
Put it in the hashtags. Metallica, Tool,
Hashtag Metallica.
Nightwish.
Because we're talking about Metallica right now. Lars is a big fan of Halloween, as everybody knows.
Tralka. Yep. Video 2, first song.
Yes.
Correct. Right. All right. Is everybody ready? Mm-hmm. All right. In 3, 2, 1.
Primus.
Says not Primus.
Oh boy.
Does someone have speakers going in their room?
No.
I can clearly hear speakers in someone's room.
You can't.
This is fun. I don't know. It sounds kind of familiar.
He's coming to get you. 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 His name
Wow.
Someone 1,000% has speakers in their room playing music.
What?
Someone has speakers playing out loud
No, I mean I heard
It's
you.
Cody. It's Cody.
It's Cody.
Wow.
How did this happen?
I tried to defend you.
I'm sorry.
You made a fool of me.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
That's
I didn't
all right.
touch anything.
That's right. No,
since,
no one said anything for those 2 minutes and 9 seconds, so it doesn't matter. I'll just cut your audio there. But
That was
know.
better than what I thought Patrick would surprise us with.
yeah. So let's. I guess. Well. Okay. So that band is second Schoolyard Heroes. They're called Schoolyard Heroes, and they're a band I discovered. Well. Okay. Drop the Batman pretense. They're a band I discovered. One of the first big shows I ever went to was the Birthday Massacre in Lincoln at a place called the Club Roxy, something like that. It's not there anymore. Hasn't been there for many, many years. But this band opened for them, and I found them and I loved them, and I forgot to bring their CDs down here. So I don't know if I'll go get them or not. I might go get them while the second song is playing or something. But so the cool thing about this band is that their aesthetic is awesome. Like they have the way this sounded is how their whole first album sounds. This is from their first album. And to me, this is like one of the most perfect examples of songs that sound bad, but like the way that it sounds really, I think, is a positive to the overall feeling of the music. Does that make sense?
That's how most people
Yes.
describe punk music.
Yeah. Right, and I definitely think this comes from that sort of like that is a big influence for this. So you guys, what do you guys think about it? I'm really curious what the two Chris's think specifically about the production and stuff.
I thought it was interesting because it's unlistenable, but the vocals seem to also be recorded really well.
I would disagree wholeheartedly that that's
thought you would.
unlistenable.
Here, you guys argue about it for a sec. I'm gonna go get the CDs because I left them. I'm so stupid. I left them. So you guys argue about it for a little bit, okay? Or you
Alright.
can eat your wonderful
Is this
snacks you
getting-
can't share with anybody, you jerk.
You got a whole spread there.
Dude, you guys can see that when I pulled that in? Oh, do you see my dog in the back?
No,
Over on
no,
the
we
other
don't see it
side of you.
anymore. We just saw you come in from above.
I got hooked up.
What do you have there? I missed it.
I have
see your
a
dog on the left
quesadilla
side of you.
and then a bunch of charcuterie. Obi, get up on the couch.
Nice. I'd take a quesadilla.
There's my dog. Patrick hates dogs.
He does. It's a real thing about him. Makes him seem like he could be a killer if there was just a couple of different things that went different in his life.
I mean,
That's one way to
there's still time.
That's true. That's so funny.
I mean,
I don't know. I mean, that wasn't as unlistenable as some early punk music that just sounds bad because it is bad. But I was not anticipating something that sounded like it was being played out of like a Dodge Neon speaker, like the one speaker that still works.
well, but somehow it was the center speaker because the only thing that was panned was like the toms.
But the vocals being they sounded really good. So I was like, oh, this is weirdly intentionally bad, which isn't quite as bad as if it was actually bad.
I thought the drums sounded bad at first, and they don't sound good. But whenever, because it sounded like there were two different bass tones, because at one point the bass actually sounded like a bass. But then most of the time the bass was that nasty distorted thing.
And there was a weird crunchy static on something. That might be the
Yeah,
bass.
that's what I'm talking. I think that was
Yeah.
the bass.
I think that they weren't afraid. I think that they did probably record it. This band was known for performing live, and so this Chris Parker would be a good example of a band that doesn't do more in their recordings than they can really reproduce live. They do it a little bit, where they have maybe a second track of guitar, because this band consisted of female vocalist, drummer, bass player, who also sang, and then a guitar player.
Does that mean when they play, they all stand in line from the center stage, downstage to upstage, and then the toms are just out 6 feet aside?
They
Oh,
just
'cause
split
everything
the
was
toms
panned
down
in
the
the
middle,
middle?
and they've got one
Yeah,
guy
because
over here, one guy
that's
over here.
all center except for the toms. But it makes the toms feel really wide. Normally you don't get that.
Right.
Right.
And I do think that they did it that way just because they didn't want to record multiple tracks of the guitar and have it balanced on the other side, So in the next song we're going to hear, I think they did do that a little bit, and it is from the same album. So I think they kind of did different things for different songs. And so yeah, I think it. Okay, so I went and got my stuff that I should have brought down earlier. So here's their 3 albums, and I really like. This is their first album, which is called The Funeral Sciences. And it is definitely like throwback, very Halloween-y feel. I would say nothing is overly Halloween feeling. The song we just listened to is track 3, which is The Mechanical Man versus the Robot from the Outer Limits. So I don't know if you got that from the lyrics or not. And then they have their second album, which is called some kind of Wounds. What's it called? It's called Fantastic Wounds. And then their third and final album, they stopped being a band after this, is Abominations? Yeah, Abominations. And so I saw them when they were touring with this album, but it wasn't out yet. And on their second album, if you read in the liner notes, they're very excited that they recorded all of this direct to tape. And it was mixed and mastered off of tape on just a mixing console. So it's basically live recording of them with maybe a few little overdubs. And so I think their first album is my favorite of their 3 albums, actually, because I think it's the best songwriting they did. But the most like pop production that they ever did is on their third album. But we're going to listen to 2 songs from this one. And so I really personally like the production on this album because I don't know if the songs would have as much punch and as much impact if it was recorded super well and crisp and clean and everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you said it was like unlistenable, Chris. Do you feel like the longer the song went on that it sounded a little you liked it a little bit more, or?
Well, it was very shocking up front because it really was just like there's no low end here. It's all scrunchy.
There very much is not low end. Like it is not one of those types of albums at all.
But I did notice that their vocals were recorded really nicely, and I was like, oh, so this is like intentionally not good.
And that's nice, isn't it? When somebody tells you
so.
that what they're doing is on purpose.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think so. And like the cool thing about this album is that they do have songs where they doubled the guitars and spread them wide. And they do have like there's 2 songs on here that are slow songs, and they're like intentionally like sweet like bubblegum pop songs that the woman just sings lead. The woman is the lead singer of this band, and she sings probably like I would say 70% of all the songs. And then the guy sings just every now and then a little bit here and there. And those are all the songs I prefer because they're just more chaotic and they're sort of the singles and stuff. But I do think that like there's several songs in here that are like more pop, bubblegum pop songs, and they're all like, you know, I hate your boyfriend and all this stuff. I wish I hate his guts. Like there's like stupid things that are like her trying to sing really pretty, like Girl Next Door thing. And then the message of the song is always like, I'm going to like rip his head off. I'm going to do this. I'm going to whatever. So it keeps with the like dark theme of everything, but it is also very chaotic sounding the entire time. So Cody, did you have any other thoughts on that track before we move on to the next one?
I didn't mind it. I can appreciate some
I know there's
music sometimes.
I was gonna say you do kind of like you've surprised me a lot, especially this year. The more stuff we've been listening to, with the amount of like garaginess and like experimentation stuff that you're like you really enjoy it with stuff. Especially when we listened to that Devo stuff, I was like, wow, like of all this stuff you're showing me, the stuff you like is like the opposite of the stuff of theirs that I would like. Yeah. And the stuff you really liked was their more like home recorded, like punky influenced stuff. And so,
yeah, absolutely. I don't really like a lot of screaming, but I like the instrumentation in that.
Now, would you say that was screaming? Because to me, that was just like chaotic, like insane.
At times, the guy got into it, but I think I like the female vocals in that more.
I would agree with that too. I don't think that the screaming was very good, but
yeah. And yeah, okay. Like I definitely think he's going for more of. I think he has like a bit more of like a Weird Al, like Ludo type of thing going on. For those of you that understand that, and so I think that maybe that's I don't know. So all right, let's listen to the other song. This is from the same album, and it's actually it might even be the following track. It is. So this is Dawn of the Dead. by Schoolyard Heroes off of their first album, whose name I forgot already, The Funeral Sciences. In 3, 2, 1.
Guitar sounds better already. Kinda.
It's Dawn of the Dead. You heard me right. People calls up from the grave. They walk tonight. You walk alone. What's gone? Thank God I went out. Give it up. I'll say.
It's the dawn of the day. It's the dawn of the day. It's the dawn of the day.
The forces of evil marched on.
The panning choices are so very strange.
Like this.
This is a little Weezer.
But it was not over yet. It's the dawn of the dead. You heard me right. People calls up from the grave. They'll walk tonight. Gonna walk alone. What's gone? Thank God I will not give it up. I'll say.
It's the dawn of the day. It's the dawn of the day. It's the dawn of the day.
For one last time, they
So maybe I should have picked a more different song, but I just thought that was a good one for Halloween because it's Dawn of the Dead, and I really like both of those songs. But there's like 7 other songs on this album that I absolutely love, and then the rest of them are still really good, but they're not as good as those. And there's 12 tracks. So how did you guys feel about that?
It is. It's like they have. It's like a normal sounding song that you're just listening to through a little like radio that has one speaker on it. And then the fact that the drums still end up having like a left-right presence and nothing else does at all is so strange.
The guitar moved around a little bit.
Yeah.
There were those 2 guitars, and one was just slightly to the right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. I'm just so proud of you, Patrick, because this is like the closest thing to cool people music that you've ever recommended.
I've always wanted to listen.
200,000%.
I've always wanted to listen to this album with you guys, and just get your opinion on it. And we talk a lot on the channel about. I've mentioned it a lot before about how the way an album sounds, the character of an album or a song's, the way it's mixed. I'm really delayed here, so I'm sorry, folks. But the way that the character that songs have can really impact the. Oh, hold on. Maybe what I should say is the way a song is mixed is one of the things that gives it its character. Mm-hmm. And I think the character of this is really cool. Like, I think that they probably could have recorded more overdubs and they could have spread things wider. And the fact that they didn't, I think is really cool. And I don't think it was a lack of budget type of thing. I'm sure they never were a huge band. They only released their 3 albums and they were done. And none of them, as far as I know, none of them have ever been in any other bands or anything like that, which is a real shame because I really like them a lot. But their most recent album, this album is from, let me see here.
That's what I was going to ask you that.
Oh, let us guess.
Ooh.
The first one is what we're listening to.
Yeah,
Early 2000s.
I would say
Yeah,
like
I'll guess 2004.
Are you guys ready?
Wait, what did Cody say?
Or I
said
said
early.
early 2000s.
You have to say a year now. 'Cause
Oh. 2000.
Chris Parker, you wanna?
06.
Okay, it is from 2003.
Ooh,
I think I win.
Cody wins.
Yeah. No. He said 04.
Price is Right
I
rules.
said 04.
Oh.
Well, you're closest. So this is their first album. It's from 2003. This is their second album. It's from 2005, 2 years later. And this is the one that they recorded live in the studio, all direct to tape. And then they mixed it on tape. They did do a few overdubs, though, of things.
I will
And then-
say the only thing, like normally you can listen to a song or something to sort of get an idea based on the production and the sounds in it of roughly when it might have come out. But the only thing I used to pick my number was when I thought you would have gone to a Birthday Massacre show.
Me too. That could
Right.
have been recorded any time from like 1982 until now.
But remember, I went to go see them when this album was getting ready to come out. It hadn't been released yet.
Yeah.
Right.
So this album came out in 2007. Now this one is double tracked, everything spread wide. There's auxiliary percussion, there's background vocals, there's harmony vocals, there's layering, there's all these things. So this is full production. And I was going to have us listen to a track from their first album and then a track from this album, their last album, and talk about it. But I thought that would be too big of a conversation for just a little 30-minute Halloween video. So I decided not to do that. We just stick to the sort of more punky, garagey, simple production from their first album. And see. So I highly recommend this band to anyone that is into like, if you liked what we heard, I highly recommend this. But also there's a lot more female singing on it than you might expect based on the two songs we just heard. And then also like if you're into sort of like punky influence, sort of gothic type style stuff with like they have lots of songs that reference like cemeteries and this and that and like dark stuff and whatnot. So they keep with their theme kind of all throughout their whole career, which is one of the aspects of them that I really like. And I do listen to their albums quite a bit, like every year when it comes around to October time. So yeah. Anybody have any final closing thoughts on Schoolyard Heroes?
It's not unlistenable. I take that back. But it is
Okay.
odd.
I like the second song better.
Yeah, I
It was
agree.
more listenable.
I would agree, and I like the female vocals more, and that little hook thing was good.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
I mean, it was clearly like meant to be more of like a little like this is the catchy part of the song.
Yeah.
Okay. If anybody out, I don't know if anyone will ever watch this video because no one knows who this band is or anything. But definitely check them out. And if we get one comment that says listen to more of this band, and I would love, and anyone would like us to go over the production of their 3 albums, I would love to do that because for a long time I actually refused to listen to their second album because I heard that they recorded it live in the studio, and I was like, I don't want to hear that.
That seems like
And
the
then when
most un-Patrick Musilek thing ever. Like that you wouldn't listen to it because it was recorded live in the studio. That seems
Yeah,
correct
but
to
live
me.
in the studio.
I know
I
that sounds.
I don't want to do that.
I know. Why would you listen to that?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It's
That's
garbage.
the most Patrick Musilek thing.
Yeah.
So, right. So,
Are you saying the same thing and arguing?
well, hold on. I'm just reading the sticker of this. It says, Fantastic Wounds brings crushingly dynamic rock, mixing the brash vocal stylings of the Yeah Yeah Yeahs with the operatic fervor of Iron Maiden. Schoolyard Heroes catapults rock to new, surprising heights. That's ridiculous, but
Bold.
That's
They
sometimes
must have
written
written
like
that
the back
themselves.
of a album from the 60s.
right. So anyway, if anyone wants us to go through the production aspect of this band, I think that would be really fun to do, but I thought we could save that for a separate video if anyone ever wants us to do that. So thank you everyone for watching. Before we go though, we have one more Halloween recommendation to catch up.
Oh, yeah.
So I will go ahead and do my Halloween recommendation for this video. Since everyone was talking about video games earlier, my Halloween recommendation for this is going to be a game I just completed very recently. It is now, I think, in my top 10 favorite games for sure, and it might honestly even be in my top 5. I was so blown away by this game, and I cannot... I wish I would have played it years ago, and it maybe would have changed my opinion of Xbox completely. It could have changed a lot of things. So I am talking about Alan Wake. I cannot express to you how incredible this game is. A lot of people already know this, and I've played Control already, so like I know of Remedy games. I've played Control. I played the Alan Wake part of Control, not understanding anything of it, and so actually playing through Alan Wake, oh my goodness. And Chris, if you want to talk about Chris Parker, if you want to talk about games with fantastic audio design, I think Alan Wake might be some of the best audio design I've ever heard.
Remedy is always killing it. They're so good.
Yes, Control as well, 100%. But in Alan Wake specifically, there's this like they do this like pitch shifting thing with the guys you're fighting, the like big bads, where they'll be talking and they'll say like a sentence, and certain words in the sentence will just go like the pitch of their sentences will just go down, and all of a sudden
They'll go up really high, and it's like
super creepy. Like it is one of the like most terrifying things I've ever heard in a game. Like it's absolutely terrifying, and it's very unsettling to hear the like pitch being regulated of someone's sentence. Like I've never heard anything like that done before. I've heard a lot of pitch shifting effects done, obviously forever, but I have never heard anything like this.
It reminds me of that Community episode where they get bit and they're like slurred speech and stuff when the zombie one. That's such a fun
Yes,
episode.
and it probably is similar to that. I can't recommend it enough. The game was way scarier than I thought it was going to be, and I am not really a big horror game fan, but like this is absolutely a horror game. But like the horror aspects are kind of like more the gameplay stuff. The story was super fascinating. I cannot wait to play the second one, and honestly, it makes me want to play Control again. I can't wait for Control 2 if that's the next thing that Remedy's doing. Like
They announced today, there's something coming. There's like a Control multiplayer game that they're putting out.
well, that's stupid. I don't care about that.
Well,
But
Patrick doesn't have
like.
friends.
But like I'm all in on like the Alan Wake universe and the Control universe, which I already loved Control. So like I just can't say enough stuff about it. It may be in my top 5 favorite video games now. That's that good. And I played it on PS4, the remaster. So, all right, that's my
cool.
recommendation. Cody, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Since we're doing video games, I will say a Halloween video game that I really liked when it came out is Costume Quest, which was
oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever played that?
Yeah, Hunter and I played through a lot of it. We never finished it because it was too complex. But
Yeah, it's like Paper Mario style RPG mechanics. Like it's pretty simple RPG mechanics. It's like a 6-hour game, I think. You could play through it in a couple days. It came out in like 2011, something like that.
you know what? I might have actually played Costume Quest 2.
Yeah, they
If
made
that
a
was a
sequel
thing.
too, and that was longer. There was like some wintry stuff in Costume Quest 2. I think it takes place in the winter. But the first one, I really like the first one the most. It's got a really cool vibe. You're just a group of kids going around on Halloween in like this, just this small town, just kind of a 3/4 view perspective, and it's just really charming. And yeah,
It is, yeah.
You go door to door, you trick or treat, you fight monsters, and it's I've played through that a couple times. I played through like 5 years ago again, just before Halloween, and you can do it in like 2 nights, and it's just super cute and fun.
It's the what is it? I hate it in video games, but I managed to make it through this one, right? Where you take turns.
It's turn-based, combat.
Turn-based. I think it's the only turn-based game I played for longer than like an hour. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff to it. 100%.
Yeah, I think that's-
Hunter really liked it.
I think that's the one criticism most people had, was that the combat was like pretty simple, and the combat is most of the game, but the best parts of the game are just the going around town and interacting with people, and just the art style. It's really, really cute.
All right, Chris Parker.
I'm gonna go with music this time.
Okay.
Ash Nico, who I like very much, has every year she puts out a Halloween specific song, and it's called Halloweeny, and then she just has 1 through now 6, and they're always fantastic. And she just put out a little, like, kind of an EP that is a collection of all of her Halloweeny songs. and they're all really great.
That's awesome. And for people who don't know what Ash Nico sounds like at all, how would you describe her music?
Oh, bro.
I know it's a little tough.
I mean, I don't know. I get trap, maybe. Yeah, there's trap elements to it.
Rap as well.
Yeah, rap. This is not a genre that I'm super well versed in, so I'm not sure how to use all the different words to describe it.
But she does more rapping vocals than singing vocals, right?
I don't know about more.
Combination?
It's probably a good 50-50 on average for sure, but yeah.
We may talk about her more on the channel when it comes to our top 12 albums of the year.
Probably not.
You don't think so?
No, she hasn't had anything come out this year.
Oh, I thought you said she did. Maybe that was last year.
Yeah, last year she had a new album that is fantastic.
Yeah, and I think you had that on your list.
Actually, no. No, that was this year. Well, all right. We will indeed talk about her later this year. It was in February. It seems like 100 years ago.
It's almost like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, almost.
All right, Chris Schoenberg.
Since you guys did video games, or Patrick and Cody did, I'll do that too. So I played this game. It was on my phone. It is a cross-platform game that you can play it on a lot of different things, but I played it on my phone, and you get to the end of the game, and the boss is like pretty big and scary, but then you realize that there's a whole lot more game after you beat the boss, and then you're out there like basically on the moon.
I cannot wait what you're going to say. I cannot wait to hear what you're
But
going
you
to say.
beat the boss, and then you get to go off farther on this like weird like moon-like planet thing, and eventually you can go up into an abandoned ship and get wings. And that game is called Minecraft, and it's very scary and Halloween-like.
So Minecraft Mobile Edition is what you're
I
saying.
guess I was
different.
doing it.
Yeah, okay. So Minecraft and Minecraft Mobile Edition.
Yeah, there we
Okay.
go.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you all next time. Next time, we're going to have some really fun music to listen to as well, and we're all leading up to the greatest Halloween album of all time, definitively, no questions asked. We will see you all in the next video, and then in the following video, and all the videos after that. So we'll see you. Whatever. I screwed up the ending of the video, so whatever.
Goodbye, everybody.